Welcome to Harrison Hacks.
Hey guys, welcome back to Harrison Hacks. Today I'm going to be sharing with you another emulation station build, similar to the Sega Genesis one I shared with you guys, only this time it is the NES version. I've called it NES Classic. The theme is an NES Classic theme. It was not created by me, so my hat's off to the creator. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go to the link in the description and you're going to download your NES Classic 7-zip. Now it's 442 megabytes when you download it, and you're going to want to extract it either with WinRAR, you can extract here, or with 7-zip, you can extract here. Once you have that extracted, you're going to have NES_classic folder. I believe it's under 1 gig. It's pretty close to a gig, but it's under 1 gig. So if you got a smaller hard drive, or you just want to run this on an older computer, then it's perfect. It won't take up a lot of hard drive space, nothing like that. So once you've extracted your folder, what you're going to want to do is cut, and you're going to want to paste this into the root of your C drive. So if you remember my Sega_Genesis build using Emulation Station, then this is the same thing, only this is the Nintendo version. I do also have the portable version that I released a little while back for you guys that has a whole bunch of systems. I did how to add more systems. I also did another video on how to add Kodi to that build. But for these smaller builds, I'm just focusing on one system per build. And the reason why I'm doing that is because the themes, just based on one system, they just look a lot better. And also, if you're an NES person, you didn't get an NES Classic like most people didn't, then this is your opportunity to enjoy it as close as possible, without having to go buy a Raspberry Pi and all that kind of stuff. So basically, first thing we're going to want to do once we have this in the root of C is we're going to go into the NES Classic .emulation station. We're going to go into Systems, RetroArch, and we're going to scroll down, and we're going to open RetroArch. So I'm using, as usual, if you're familiar with my videos, I'm just using my DataFrog SNES USB controller. Your first time launching RetroArch, you're going to want to set up your controller. I do have videos on how to set up your PS3 controller in RetroArch, as well as your Xbox 360 controller in RetroArch. If you were using PS4 or Xbox One controllers, they are the same. So the 360 would be the same setup for the Xbox One, and the PS3 video will be the same as your PS4 controller. So with your arrow keys, you're going to want to go over one to the gears, and we're going to want to come down to input. And I'm just going to set up my buttons in this video, guys. I've done a lot of this throughout, and like I just mentioned, you can go check out my other videos, and that'll show you exactly how to set yours up. One thing I will show you in this video is the hotkeys. So I'm just going to set up my controller real quick here. Okay, so basically, once you get your controller all configured, if you watched the other video, you already would have done this. Save auto config. We're going to go to this input hotkey binds. First thing we want to do is press up. We start back to the bottom of the menu, and we want to go to enable hotkeys. I'm going to use my select button. I would suggest using your select button. Click it, press select. We're going to want to go up to quit RetroArch, and we're going to press down on the D-pad. So we're going to click it, press down on the D-pad. There we go. And your save state, for me, I like to use my R button. Load state, I like to use my L button. Okay, so that's all done. I'm just going to go back here and back here. So I'm not going to do the tutorial. Like I said, I've made videos solely based on that. The only thing we did different in this is I went through the hotkey binds with you. I have done that in previous videos, but I haven't done a video solely on that. So save current configuration, quit RetroArch. Okay, so now let's get right into our NES Classic build. So I'm just going to launch windowed. You can launch full screen. I'll launch full screen. Hopefully I don't get too choppy in the corner for you guys. Launching full screen while I'm running OBS. We'll see. So you set up your controller here. If you guys are familiar with my builds or Emulation Station at all, you'd know how to do this. Up, down, left, right, start, select, A, B, X, Y, L, R. Skip it. If you're not familiar, to skip them, you just press and hold and release when it says not defined, and then just continually do that until you highlight OK. There we go. So here we go. All I did basically to modify this theme from the creator was I changed the Nintendo logo. I like this logo. I tried my best to put the NES Classic background music. I do not know how to add background music in Emulation Station on Windows. I couldn't find it anywhere online. If anybody watching this knows how, if you could point me in the right direction, I'd really appreciate it. It's the only thing missing. A lot of people don't like background music on their NES Classic or on their themes, but I'd like to add it just for, I don't know, just for my personal preference. So we'll go into Nintendo here, and everything has 3D box art. I've included, how many games was that? 778 games for the NES, and I've gone through. So you'll notice there's no videos, no video snaps. It's all just box art. You get a little bit of information on the right side, and obviously your list in the middle. I really like this. It's really clean. When I do these individual builds, I can't say I'm never going to use video snaps, but I like to keep them small. So, you know, nice and lightweight, nice and portable. One game that I really wanted to include that a lot of people like, and it's not always included. So I'm just going to, and if you want to skip a letter, I don't know if you're not familiar with Emulation Station, press select in your list and just jump to letter. So I'm going to jump to E. I included Earthbound. I know it's a prototype, but it's from what I've seen, it's definitely popular. So let's go ahead and launch that. We'll launch Earthbound. The other thing I've done, as you can see, is I've added an overlay. Same with my Sega Genesis build, I did that, and it just looks really nice. It gives you that old CRT feeling, and it just, I really like the look of it. So I'm not going to get into game here. You know, earlier we did our hotkeys. So if I were to hold select and press R, that means I just saved. And then if I were to move a little further in the game, okay, so I'm just going to hold select, press L, and I loaded back to before I named my first guy. And we did down on the D-pad to exit. If I press down, I'm not exiting, but if I hold select and press down, boom, we go right back, and there you go, the NES Classic feel. So that's pretty much it. This is the build. Links in the description. I'm working on a track mode builds right now, just to give you guys a heads up. I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna structure the builds. I'm not gonna do a gigantic build. I do leave mega links now. I've got 50 gigs for free. I'm trying to upload everything for free for you guys to my Google Drive is full, and I'm doing the mega one now. It's nowhere near full, but I don't want to overdo it because there's number one, I can't afford to keep adding online storage. I didn't do it for my personal use either. So I just want to keep it for free, the 50 gigs, and I never want to have to delete an old build to give you guys another one. I don't want to do that because you may have some of you that want that build and I took it away because I put something different and you didn't even want that. So I want to keep these builds as small as possible. I mean, not too small, especially with the attract mode. You're still going to get all your artwork, all your video snaps and everything. But I don't think that I'm going to be including Sega CD, TurboGrafx CD, PlayStation, you know, GameCube, Wii. I'm not going to be getting into the higher ends. If you guys want to add that, there's a lot of ways to do it, and I can definitely do a step-by-step when I get to that point of how you would add ROM packs to my attract mode builds. So that's just a little bit of a heads up on what I plan to do in the future. I'm also going to keep doing these individual system emulation station builds. I really like them. They're really fun, and they're just nice and lightweight, basically. So you know that my larger emulation station build is portable. It can be Kodi can be added. This and my Sega Genesis build, my individual systems build, they'll always be done to go to the root of C. It's just a lot easier that way, and it's just less complicated. And when you open your C drive, normally you don't have a lot of folders on there, so you can find Sega Genesis, NES Classic, and any future builds that I provide that you download. So again, guys, I really appreciate you watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and have a good day.